Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk with me. As always, you're Rowan. As you see today, I am dressed as a wolf. Wolf. Um, we are being hunted by a spider. I'm assuming he's on our ceiling. We are almost starving because I have no food. And not much has changed. As you can see, kind of expanded this area out just a little bit. Haven't fixed the roof yet. And I've got my water vader started here. This is our first floor. Haven't dug this out yet. Not sure what I'm going to do here. And then we have our next level at level 50. I have some tree farms for now. I am thinking of expanding this out more. But while digging down to do the next level, I came across something I'm going to show you real quick. Let me get down. Try not to die. Yep, as you see, I have found myself a abandoned mine shaft. And looking at the map at the top, you can see it's kind of complex by the looks of it. Let me zoom in my mini map here so I can show you. Ta-da! Okay. Actually, I can do it this way. One more Z. Yeah, we've got ourselves a nice-sized mine system right underneath us, which is cool. I'll have to explore this out some more. But in the meantime, let's go back up. Get some air before we could make the journey back to the next floor. And, but you're not tuning in to listen to me rant about my Minecraft experiences. You're here to listen to me talk. And as you probably saw in the intro and in the title, today I'm going to die in the water. Ah! Sorry about that, guys. I need to get stuff going, so I'm going to just put it on peaceful. This isn't a let's play, I don't care. Okay, anyway, what I am going to do is talk to you about Dungeons and Dragons. Yes, probably, in my opinion, one of the best games, not even a video game, it's just a game, but one of the best games I have ever played. For all of you that don't know, Dungeons and Dragons is a tabletop game, which means it is... Which means it is a game that is done... Wolf can't jump today. What? I'm like... Oh, man. I must be getting really bad lag or something. Probably because I'm recording this and got so much stuff running. But, yeah. It's a tabletop game. It's played really more so with your imagination. I have too many picks. I'm just way too many picks here. Do I have an axe? Yes, I do have an axe. You play it using pen and paper, and oh my god, I'm not gonna get anything done today. I swear. You use it with pen and paper. You sit down, you write down, create a character. You give him skills. You give him basically you give him life. He or she is your rendition of what you want to be. For instance, you want to be a big, burly barbarian. Be a big, burly, half-orc barbarian if you want. If you want someone that can cast spells and burn anything in its path, well, there you go. Yeah, I am getting really bad lagginess here. So, really, the choice is all on you into that creativeness. And you throw your character that you're given into a story, whether it be... I need food. So I can... Well, I regenerate anyway. But you get thrown into this story, whether it be you're saving a kingdom, or you're ridding the world of an evil dragon, or you're helping a good dragon in some quest. For storytellers and fantasy readers, it's a great game to get into. It's definitely worth looking into. I have played for since 2007, which would make it I can't do math on the run here. Uh, 3 plus 2, 5. 5, 6 years. I've been playing for about 6 years. I haven't been able to play a lot recently. I wish there was a way to where I could, let's play it, but that's unheard of. That's preposterous. No, I mean, I'm sure there's a way, and maybe I'll figure it out sometime, and maybe I can get some other, Dungeons and Dragons fans like myself to, we'll all come together and do some recording. But anyway, Dungeons and Dragons has kind of gotten a bad rap in the past. It's been known as a game that's supposed to promote violent behavior in kids. Much like any video game that you come across. A lot of tree. I got a tree. That is awesome. It's been known to create problems. It's been known to people to not like the idea, because a lot of what is believed of it is actually confused for another type of game, I guess you can call it. The most common misconception is the fact that players sit there and swing swords at each other and try and hurt each other and all those wonderful, wonderful bad news that people talk about. That in itself is actually gone by a different name. It's called LARPing, live action role playing. And although it can hold very many similarities to Dungeons and Dragons, in my opinion, it is its own system. In Dungeons and Dragons, is more based on sitting around someone's basement, rolling a handful of dice to see if what you say came to be. The gravel for days, much? Okay. For instance, if I walked into a abandoned mine shaft, I could make the decision to drink a potion, or burn all the wood down, or blow everything up with TNT. And I would do various rolls and have to look at various stats to see if I was successful or if I only was able to blow myself up. So, really, I don't see... I mean, it's not that I don't see. I can understand why people are kind of hesitant on the game itself. I should go make a shovel with the wood I just collected. I'm going to do that. Okay, let's go. But I really think people should take a moment, and learn about, and this isn't just for games, this is for anything in general. Take a second, learn about what you're putting your opinions as before you dub it as a bad thing, or the devil. I'm going to actually make me a chest. 2 chests, to be specific. And I'm going to go to over here. And this is what this will be for right now. This will be my chest area, because I need to put some of these frickin' pickaxes away. There. Take a second, learn what you're talking about before you make some misconception and possibly ruin what could be an amazing game for somebody. It's not for everyone. I'm not going to lie and say, oh, everyone can do it. It's the most amazing thing ever. You'll never regret. No. Some people just... when did I get iron? Some people really can't get into it. There's some people who don't have the imagination capabilities that others do. Some, they don't like the time period. They don't like the hardcore fantasy behind the element. Maybe some people prefer a more visual kind of idea than a auditory. Because a lot of it, what it is you telling a story. That's really a lot of what that game is. I don't know why I was going to put 2 sticks there. Okay. And some people just, not that they don't read or that they can't read or whatever, it's some people just don't like stories or that kind of story. I mean, obviously, if I feel that because I enjoy the stories, especially your fantasy stories, like J.R.R. Tolkien's The Hobbit, that I had kind of a predisposition to liking Dungeons and Dragons, and also with avid player of Final Fantasies and other high fantasy games, that it just kind of, it felt natural for me to get into it. And so I did. I gave it a try. Made it through what I consider to be the most difficult part, which is creating a character. There's a lot of options. There really is no one way to do it. You can create a warrior that focuses on archery, yet has dabbled a little bit in magic, or a thief that only robs from the evil bad guys. Make a Robin Hood character. The choices are almost, I want to say they're almost endless, but statistically, there's only so many choices you can do. After a matter of time, you're going to run into a duplicate at some point. Dungeons and Dragons has been around for a while, years upon years, and has expanded. There's a lot of gravel here. I'm gonna have to make myself a incinerator soon. I don't know how big I want this. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just kind of digging out a really big room. I think I'm gonna make that. I was gonna make this into a farm. That's what I was gonna make it into. So, yeah, that's what my idea is right now for this. In the original Dungeons and Dragons, you were given really only 4 choices. You were either a fighter, a mage, a thief, or rogue, as they call it, or a healer, a cleric. And then you get to choose where all the stats go and, all that stuff. And then Dungeons and Dragons 2.0 came out, which was named Dungeons and Dragons, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, AD&D. Which expanded on some of the classes and expanded on the rules, fixing things to make it more playable and to make things what seemed fair, balancing powers between heroes and villains. And that was all they had for a while. And then the D&D I learned came out. D&D 3.0. They did do versions that sound more like computer games than board games, but come on. OCD much. But they expanded on the game tremendously. It was like getting a video game. Imagine playing a video game that was created for the original NES system. Although there's nothing wrong with the NES. The NES is a great gaming system. It lacked the ability for certain types of gameplay. For instance, this wouldn't be as possible on an NES as, say, the Nintendo Wii. We'll stay with the same system peeps. So let's just say game 1 was on the... there was something I wanted to try here. I need to get a bucket and... actually, 2 buckets. Can I? Yeah, I can eat while I do this. I'm sorry. I'm still not very good at this talking and playing at the same time. So let's take this imaginary game from Getting Hardware, from the NES, little 8-bit games. And now let's turn it into, let's say, a Nintendo Wii game. Quite a big jump. You've got a lot more video capabilities now, and a lot more you can do with it. That, in my opinion, was kind of like the jump from Advanced Dungeons & Dragons to Dungeons & Dragons 3.0. There was an expansive increase in class. There was an expansive increase in... I'm going to... No. I need to make me a infinite water supply. And I'm going to make it... over here? Yeah, we'll make it over here. Put it in this corner, actually. The bad guys, the monsters were... There's this bucket thing that this 1.3.1 on Minecraft is kind of glitchy, and I feel. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So what I'm going to do here is, okay, the possibilities of the storyteller, the main, well, I guess I should kind of explain that a little bit, shouldn't I? Anyway, instead of how in a video game you've got programs that tell you what happens and what's going on in a story, you have a actual person relaying the story to you, known as the Dungeon Master. He tells you what happens when you go in the door or you open a chest. Okay, actually I don't even really need to do this yet. I do need to put that there though. I want to try, I'm going to put a source block here, and that's going to, yeah. And then I'm going to take dirt, and I'm going to put the dirt over top of it. Erp. Now it's surrounded by brick on all sides, other than underneath it. So I need to go back up. And you kind of can tell what I'm trying to do here. But he told you, he guided your hero that you created through the story. In 3.0, he was given a lot more options, a lot more resources, supplementary books that helped with story creation, and things were able to do, you were able to do more with a story. Okay, so if these coded areas disappear, that means that my idea didn't work. And over here, I'm going to do something different. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8. Because source water goes 8, including the source block. Oh, yep, see? But that one did. But that might be because the water is so close. But why? I'm going to try putting that back down. See, that one's going. But like I said, it might be because this water source block, or this water block here, is touching that one. Not necessarily that the water underneath it is doing anything. What I could do is put some dirt there and some dirt there. That'll cut the water off. And this way I can tell if it's actually underneath it that's doing it. No, that's not. Well, that sucks. Actually, I'm gonna do this. Na na na, jumping in the mud. This is so annoying to do. Okay. Let's put a torch up here so I can see. And then for a while, 3.0 was it. That was all the good. Now, when I hoe that out, that should not, none of that should, well, maybe. We'll see. I'll sit and wait. While we wait for that, I'm going to continue talking and try and hold on to a thought longer than for 5 seconds. Anyway, for the longest time, 3.0 was all there was. There were some rules in the books that made it difficult. For instance, there was ways to make weapons completely powerful and ungodly that almost makes a character unstoppable. There were loopholes in the books. There were monsters that, well, were either too powerful or not powerful enough. Yeah, this doesn't work. So, there were a lot of things that needed to be fixed with it. Now, this is not to say that it was a bad game or that it was in need of help, because it was still a great game. Okay. But later, version 3.5 came out, which was the first... I want to say it was the first supplementary version of the game to come out. It wasn't a full revamp of the game itself. It was more so just a lot of changes that were being made. Changes that felt they needed to be made, which I agree quite a lot with it. I think that the changes they made from 3.0 to 3.5 were fair and kept the game just as fun. However, the next version came out. 3.5, before I start my rant on 4.0, 3.5 was the version I learned on. That was the very first version I played. It's what taught me how to play the games. And then I played a little bit with 3.0 and looked into playing the older ones, the advanced and the original. But always found myself going back to 3.5 because, well, it was my first love. And then recently, within the last year and a half, I think, 4.0 came out. And oh man, was I disappointed. Oh, it was just... I couldn't believe it. They turned what I felt to be a sophisticated storytelling tool into a completely watered down, oversimplified game. It was actually admitted that the creators, wanted to expand their fan base into MMO players, which, I mean, that's understandable. Dungeons and Dragons being a social multiplayer game, and MMOs being extremely social multiplayer games. However, I feel like they completely and utterly dumbed it down to a point that it almost became no fun to play anymore. And yes, if I don't like the version, I don't have to play it, and I don't. I've played 4.0, games of 4.0 maybe a few times in various different campaign worlds. Campaign being the story, the main story. And I have even ran a few 4.0 campaigns. What they did with the characters and the skills and all the various other things, I feel just, it took away from creating a character. Although you still had the capabilities of customizing your character the way you wanted it to, making him or her be what you want, it didn't feel like the characters could be as epic, couldn't be as unique. But still a fun game. If you guys haven't tried it, look around. There are a lot of places online where Dungeons and Dragon players can get together on forums and various other medias and play games online. So if you don't want to, if you don't want to find friends or go through trying to teach a friend how to play it, look online. I have yet to actually get into a successful, strictly online D&D game, but I am looking into it. I think it'd be a lot of fun, especially with things like Skype being a capability, and there are programs that allow you to create your own customized looking worlds and use your own icons, and something killed my torch. Come on. And it looks like it will be a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to get into it. Like I said, maybe even see if I could find a way to record something like that and show you guys some of the fun things that happen in D&D. That's totally a possibility, although don't expect it in like the near future. I've got a lot going. I've got plenty planned now. In fact, I have been considering doing a Minecraft Let's Play. Kind of an idea that I have that seems unique to what else I've seen on Minecraft. But again, that's neither here nor now. I've got plenty of games that I need to finish or do, plenty of things that I'm hoping to do in the future. So, yeah, that's D&D. That's, I guess, the crash course if Rowan plays D&D. I might actually have a few more days where I talk about it. Maybe I talk about characters, explain character creation a little bit more in depth. Some ideas, some pointers. So, but today's episode is coming to a close, so I want to thank you guys so very much for listening to me. As always, if you have a topic you would like me to discuss in next week's episode, or if you would like to join me on an episode, feel free to send me a message, leave me a comment, throw a rock really, really hard towards my direction with a note attached to it. Whatever you need to do to get my attention, feel free. I would love to hear from you guys. I would love to get your opinions. I'd love to give your thoughts. I'd love to discuss the things you want me to discuss. That is, like I said, that's kind of the point of this series, is I want to do it for you. This is definitely not big enough, but it will be bigger. It will. Build it, and they will grow. Okay. Well, let me get my sword out. So, as always, guys, this is your Owen. Thank you so very much for sticking with me as I do. There we go. There's the dance button. See, I'm kind of like half robot here. So anyway, thank you guys so very much for sticking with me in this. Sorry that I missed a week. I'll explain to that soon. Also, I am starting to get things together for my 1,000 view special. I hope to keep you guys informed. I need to get things set up and moved around and done for that. Not to mention get 1,000 views. But Anyway, guys, as always, this is your Rowan, dancing around as a wolf inside a dirt cave, reminding you guys, happy gaming.